Hi, I'm Dave, founder of Halloween Year Round, and today I'm reviewing the latest Shudder original movie, Shadow of God, a sort of philosophical, demonic exorcism horror movie. That's probably what I would call it. Also, a little bit of a crime thriller, supernatural crime thriller thrown in there. This is a movie that I was really excited to check out when I heard about it. Exorcism and demons are kind of my favorite subgenre of horror. It's a subject I'm really fascinated with, and I love, I won't say religious horror, I love philosophical horror. Like, if it's clearly just religious propaganda, you can tell that it is, and I'm fine with a movie having something to say. I just don't like it when it's trying to shove its message down the audience throats. Not that that's what this movie is at all, and not that that's what most exorcism movies are. Some are, but I love just a good sort of philosophical debate in my supernatural religious demonic horror movies. And in all that, Shadow of God, it walks, but it definitely could be running. I'm going to keep this as spoiler free as I can, but let's get into Shadow of God.
True nature.
So you have this young priest named Mason, and there's this sort of, I guess you'd call it, epidemic of priests dying during exorcism. Something strange is afoot all the while. His father returns seemingly from being dead for years, and it's all involved in this weird cult involving Satanism and the apocalypse and the end of the world and exorcism and all that. On the surface, it's a really interesting premise. Again, I love the concept of what it's trying to do, of how the whole, good versus evil, it's not quite as simple as that, and there's more depth to it, and there's more to talk about with that. And this movie wants to kind of have those conversations and kind of wants to explore that greater depth. It just never really does. I think it gets hung up on trying too hard to do like these almost kind of action scenes, but it's limited by its budget, when the star really is these ideas. But then at the end, and again, I'm going to keep this as spoiler free as I can. I'm not sure the movie knows what it wants to say, because when you have movies like this, you can either make religion the saving grace or you can make it the villain. And I'm noticing with a lot of exorcism and demonic horror movies lately, they kind of don't know what to do. They kind of go for this like middle ground compromise that I'm not sure always works. It's something that I felt like the first Omen really botched, and it's actually one of the reasons that I don't like that movie. It holds it back for me because it almost feels like the filmmakers, the film itself, it doesn't necessarily want to be pro organized religion, but at the same time, the devil still kind of has to be the bad guy. So it tries to find a way in the middle. They're like, oh well, the religious side, they're technically fighting evil, but they're not all good either. But also the evil kind of has something to say, and the devil plays an interesting role in it. And I like the way he's portrayed. That he's portrayed as this sort of, hey, I'm the real good guy. I'm so sick and tired of portrayals of the devil in movies as this like mustache twirling, cartoonishly evil villain. No, he thinks he's the good guy. He thinks that his rebellion, his defiance is 100% justified. And whether or not you believe that, he definitely believes it. And I really like that he's almost courting our main character, like, hey, listen, be on my side. I'm misunderstood. Look, here's all I'm trying to do. Here's all the terrible things he's done. Here's why you'd be better off on my side. And I like that the movie walks that line. I just think that when it reaches its ultimate conclusion, for lack of a better term, it cops out of making that determination one way or the other. It kind of wants to have its cake and eat it too. As far as filmmaking goes, yes, it's low budget. We kind of get into like these visual effects that get kind of trippy in the third act, which while they do look amateur, I'm fine with because it gives the movie this sort of like 80s analog CGI, if that makes sense, vibe to it. I almost wish the movie had done more with that. But again, it feels like it didn't know whether it wanted to be this serious philosophical religious horror movie or this kind of like balls to the wall, over the top, almost Evil Dead like horror movie. And it's just the whole movie feels like it doesn't know what it wants to be. So I don't really know what to say about it because I enjoyed parts of it, but it could have been so much more. I think that it sort of holds itself back from its own potential. But hey, these are just my thoughts. This is just my rant. This is just my review. I would love to know, what did you think of Shadow of God? Let me know in the comments. How did this compare to other exorcism movies? Do you think the movie kind of was a cop out and couldn't decide what it wanted to be? Like, share, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. If you don't, you may end up trapped in a difficult choice between a weird religious cult and the devil himself. And as always, every day is Halloween.